Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to the Broadcasting Lounge. We're live for round 4 of the Supercars NZ MRP GT3 Series, and tonight the virtual GT3 field takes on one of the crown jewels of motorsport, the mighty Spa Francorchamps circuit. Sorry, the mighty circuit to Spa Francorchamps. I knew I got all that mixed up. I'm Shane White, and joining me in the commentary box is none other than the voice of virtual chaos himself, Corey Kitchen. Corey, Spa needs no introduction, but go on, mate, give us one anyway.
Cheers, Shane. Great to be back in the lounge as normal on a Thursday. And what a treat we've got tonight. Spa is fast, technical, and absolutely brutal if you get it wrong. You've got iconic corners like En Rouge, Blanchimont, and Bus Stop, and the GT3 cars are going full send. It's always fireworks. In a tightly packed grid, a few championship storylines and sprinkle in, a bit of Spa weather unpredictability, and mate, this one could be wild.
Couldn't have said it better. The slipstream battles down Kemmel Straight are going to be intense. Tyre strategy will be crucial, and with how close this field's been all season, anything can happen under the lights of the broadcasting lounge.
And it probably will. We've got a few drivers desperate to bounce back and a few others looking to stretch their lead in the title hunt. This could be a shift in momentum in a big way with just one race tonight, Shannon.
Yeah, that's right. All that and more coming up. So whether you're trackside in the live chat or just settling in with your favourite beverage, sit back, strap in, and get ready for a barnstormer. This is round 4 of the Supercars NZ MRP series. Sorry, MRP GT3 series, live from Spa Francorchamps, and it's about to get real. And this is what we've got in store tonight. Track map on the right hand side there, 19 degrees ambient temperature, but clear skies, sun baking down on that track with 74% humidity as well, so it is going to be a fairly warm track surface out there, which will make things quite challenging for all the guys out there tonight with the longer 45-minute race as well. They will have to make sure they're not overheating their tyres too much with the high track temps.
Yeah, not too bad at the moment. The track temp's 27 degrees, so not too bad. But as you say, the sun's out, and with all the cars running around on it, it's going to grip it up a little bit too. So we should be in for a good one.
So the guys are out there qualifying at the moment. Just just about to get the checkered flag now, and the checkered flag does come out, but because it's one race tonight, the guys can finish their laps. Stefan McCartan currently on pole and satisfied with what he's done, 2/10 of a second clear of Nico Cordia. Those guys both back in the pits, but Brett O'Keefe out there trying to improve. Decent sector times on this lap, so we'll keep an eye on it and see what he's able to do.
Yeah, top 6 drivers all getting into the 2:16s, so all pretty tight at the top so far. And as it sits at the moment, that is the championship lead, and BJ runs off the track, so that'll be his qualifying up.
Yeah, brutal mistake at No Name Corner there. Reprofiled now with the gravel trap on the outside of it, making it very tricky. You used to be able to run very wide onto the AstroTurf out there. You would pick up an off track if you went too wide, but with the gravel there now, as soon as you get one wheel off the edge of that curb, it's slowing you down as you drop it into that gravel. Roger Forbear out there finishing off a lap at the moment. Not too many cars still on track. Roger coming towards the end of his lap. We'll see how his lap time looks when he gets there. Not lining up the sector times. He's going to come across the line. And looks like he's going to... Oh, he does improve one spot. So just jumped Peter Vanderberg to move into P8 there. Lou
Yeah,
Robertson still on track, but has just pulled over into the gravel at turn 1.
yeah, nothing better than getting one over one of your teammates right at the end of quali.
Absolutely, and I'm sure the banter will be heavy in the Misfits Discord right now. So Stefan McCartan secures pole position there with a 116.05. P2 is going to be Nico Cordia, 2.5 tenths behind Stefan there, and we'll be into a warm-up period shortly as everybody will have their last chance to get ready for the 45-minute race while we've got a bit of a lull here. Chance to shout out MRP, our season sponsor. So big thanks to MRP, our season sponsor for the GT3s, and that was just an example of some of the sim racing products that you can pick up from them. If you're interested and want to check out their full range, head over to mrpsimracing.co.nz. And thanks to MRP, we've got some championship standings to go through, Corey.
Yeah, we do. Well, as it sits at the moment, the top three tonight is the top three in the championship so far. Stephen McCartan on 281 points, Nico Cordia on 239, and Brett O'Keefe on 212. This is when it gets interesting, though. Noah Kitcher, he is in fourth spot on 196 points. Then you've got Lou Robinson, Jaco Venter, Steve Darren, Sean McNamara, Adam Hughes, Hugo Allen, all within 24 points, 14 points. So very, very close, very tight in the top 10 at the back end of the top 10 of the championship. So a lot to play for tonight.
Yeah, good stuff. Championship really spicing up for those spots slightly down the order, and we all know that it doesn't matter where you are in the order, every spot matters, and you're always looking at the guy that's just ahead of you or just behind you if you're close on points, and you're always looking to get one up on that guy, and there's always friendly rivalries and close battles on track, and all those guys will be fighting for those minor positions just as hard as the guys are fighting for P1 and P2.
Yeah, they're still fighting hard down at the back end of the field too. It's always awesome to see. And a few people in the chat, Scotty's in there, and Nico, he's in there as well. And Scotty's saying more aggression, Nico, go get him.
Absolutely. So this week's racing is brought to you by Volk Auto Electrical. Tim not on track tonight. I don't think he really does the GT3s. He's more of a supercar specialist. But thanks Tim and Volk Auto Electrical for sponsoring us this week. And I think you've got a bit more information on the company there, Corey.
You like to quickly throw me under the bus? Yeah,
Well,
Bulk Auto Electrical was a family business which started in 2021 after a long and interesting career in the industry. So he's had a real passion. He has a real passion for classic cars, hot rods, and cars of all kinds, specialising in auto electrical engineering. And they're based in Helensville in Auckland. You can find them on Facebook, Bulk Auto Electrical, and stockists of Battery Town batteries. I think I'm gonna have to check it out now, aren't I?
well, you did well off memory there anyway.
I think I nailed it, actually. It is, in fact, stockists of Battery Town batteries. And also fully equipped now to do ADAS radar calibration too. So that's your things like blind spot monitoring, cruise control, and adaptive cruise control and stuff like that. So part of the repair, so he can do repairs on things like that. So anything you need, if you're out west, your battery's buggered or your cruise control's not working, then head to Volk Auto Electrical.
Can you rip the forward collision radar out of my truck? That pisses me off.
Oh yeah, they can do. They are quite annoying though, aren't they? I have definitely experienced that.
Yeah, certainly a great safety feature for the caliber of drivers that we have on our roads, but yeah, when you're a capable driver, they can really be a pain when they go off for absolutely no reason. But anyway, we won't get into that. We'll move on. We are just about done with the warm-up. A few cars out there banging around. Hogan Shrimpton getting some last-minute practice in. Always a good opportunity to get that last-minute practice in on the race setup, especially after you've been doing low fuel laps during quali. Even if you've done the race setup laps in practice, it's always good to get the last-minute practice in before the race to readjust before you get into it.
Yeah, and we've seen it. You can practice 500 laps before the race and come out there and something says that it's not your day too. And Spa is one of those tracks that's very unforgiving. So any mistake here, you can find yourself in a pile of crap.
Certainly is very unforgiving. They start off on the rolling start straight into that super tight hairpin at the source. And then once they get themselves around there, they will be jostling for position as they make their way up to the super fast Eau Rouge and Rattillon section, which is always a pinch point, and I'm expecting action there tonight.
Yeah, a
We'll
little bit of an unsettling of the car going over that little rise, and the arse end of the car goes out. We've seen it many, many times, haven't we?
absolutely, and there's always, like I say, there's still jostling for position on the run up there, and there's always at least one guy that doesn't want to or can't manage to find a place to slot in, and you end up going through there too wide, and it's tricky enough single file when you're trying to get two cars through there side by side. It becomes that much harder, and that's where I'm going to be expecting action. But I was expecting action at turn one on Tuesday at Portland. I think it happened in Div 1 by the sound of it, but Div 2 was pretty clean.
Great race. Tuesday, good race. Div 2, always putting on a show.
Absolutely. I was disappointed with a couple of mistakes that dropped me from a top 10 finish to, I think, P12 I finished, but certainly happy with the form I was able to show, and we are off rolling, and as you say, Corey, 36 cars.
Yeah, 36 cars. Can't complain about that. We're going to have to rattle through some names.
Yes, it's Stefan McCartan off the pole, Nico Cordia alongside. We'll go through quickly because it is just going to be a short formation lap. Bruno Keefe and Jakob Venter on the second row. Then we've got Tinnis Venter, Sean McNamara, Aaron Goodrick, Roger Forbert. And I might let you go through the rest of it, Corey.
Yeah, then you can shuffle through them. But you haven't shuffled through. What were we up to?
Well, I'm trying to shuffle through, but that'll be why my keyboard has decided it doesn't want to be connected anymore. There we go. Now let's see if we can do that. There we go. No, hang on.
We did miss a few.
I've gone way too far. Hang on. Here we go. Alright.
So we got to Aaron Goodrick, Roger Forbert, and then you got Peter Vanderberg, Leaf Swinney, Hogan Shrimpton, Phil Carpenter, Blake Greenhill, Noah Kitcher, James McKenzie, Wayne Hartnell, Adam Hughes, Steve Darren, Lou Robinson, Calvin Bekesi, Rydoff Jenkins, Chris Zalewski, Jonathan Turner, Daniel Turner, Stefan Adams, Paul Fauché, Alan Scott, Andre Elliott, Kevin de Fontrium, Daniel Nolan, Heath Mann, Diego Mirabellas, Rob Coward, Hugo Allen, Thomas McCall, and Peter Rothmitz will round out your field.
Yeah, I think I did miss a few there as I scrolled through, but you covered them all off anyway, and we are underway. And before we even get anywhere near Eau Rouge, we've got chaos. Brett O'Keefe rolling backwards down the pit straight.
There's nothing he can do.
Before he got to the start line. Oh, and there's drama. There's drama out of La Source as well. Looks like Tinnis Venter facing the wrong way there. Stefan McCartan and Jakob Venter make their way up through Eau Rouge and into Rattillon though. There's side by side Wayne Hartnell and Adam Hughes. That side by side contact, that was just what I was talking about. So tricky to get two cars through there side by side, and someone exiting hard stint. Was that BJ again? It was. So a rough start for BJ. Massive moment there, and he is going to have to tow to the pits. That was huge. Stefan McCartan leads at the moment though from Jakob Venter. Nico Cordia has dropped one spot into P3. We do have a yellow flag as well, so plenty of chaos at the start. We were kind of expecting it, but not as early as we got it, and it just kept unfolding. And we're going to neutralise the field, get them back under control, get those cars that have towed a chance to get their fast repairs and get their cars sorted out, and then we will be back underway before too long.
Yeah, well, that happened, but we'll reset, go again. We've got 45 minutes, so let's have a reset. It'd be good to unpack what happened at the start there. I think that's 2 weeks in a row we've had an issue at the start, so maybe the boys are a little nervous, that parade lap.
Yeah, so just trying to find the data on the initial one with BJ there. Nothing jumping out for BJ crashing, but I might be able to catch it if we have a look at this one. This is before the green flag on the chopper cam, so this should give us the perfect story of what went on here. So it was a slow start from, I think that was Yako, and just both guys trying to occupy the same piece of track by the look of it. We'll have another look at that. So
Yeah, poor start from him. So Stefan got the jump. BJ went with him, and I guess just.
yeah, I think BJ coming across to the left, Yako just slowly creeping across to the right, and they just sort of met in the middle. So probably just a very unfortunate racing incident there for BJ.
Yeah, he's got himself into the pit lane, him and Thinnus Venter as well. So what happened with Thinnus?
Yeah, so this was exit of the source. Contact with Yako side by side, and it's just probably cold tyres a factor in that as well. Once the bump unsettled the car, it just went around off to the right, and then it was BJ
Something
that.
has happened with Phil Carpenter under yellow. He was stopped.
Oh, so BJ was missing the rear wing and just trying to get through Eau Rouge with no rear wing just resulted in him going hard right. We had also
Few cars down the lane. Shano.
yeah, Adam Hughes is the name I was trying to recall there. We had him just before BJ went in, going hard right at Eau Rouge. So we'll see if we can pick up a little bit of that as well. We did see it live, but hopefully we can get something on the replay. So on board with Adam, this is out of the source. So he's side by side with Wayne Hartnell here, in behind the Misfits car 18 of James McKenzie, and then into Eau Rouge on the curb, just runs a little bit wide and has that bump, and as soon as that car got unsettled with that bump, it's just gone hard right, and there was nothing he could do. As soon as the contact happened, he was just a passenger.
Yeah, looks like he's right hand down on the steering with heavy damage on the right hand side of the car. So into the pits with him. Phil Carpenter, James McKenzie also in the pits. Diego Mirabellis, Adam Hughes, Rob Carwood all being down the lane. So I'm not sure what Rob went down the lane for. 6 seconds up on the jacks. Or, yeah, stopped, I mean. So not too sure there. But they'll have a reset. And they can go again very shortly. Looks like another one behind the safety car though. Light's still on. No, that's a replay.
Oh. Hang on, we need to get a better angle of that one. We'll try again on that. This was Rob Carwood having an incident as the field was checking up under yellow, just trying to avoid the car in front and having a big lose and just knocking that rear wing off the Mustang.
So it looks like we're still going to have one more behind the safety car. Lights are still on.
Yep, lights still going on that Porsche safety car, so we're going to have at least one more yellow flag lap. We'll be watching for the lights to go out as he comes across the line this time. Stephen McCartan will just be hoping for more of the same as far as he's concerned. He got the perfect jump at the race start and opened up a nice little lead, so if he can repeat exactly what he did last time around, he'll be happy.
So just looking at Pete Rothmans, Tom McCall, Hugo Allen, all up decent spots. Tom McCall up 9, 10. Oh, people are coming the lane. That's what stuffed that up for me. What's going on?
Yes, there's a few people down the lane, so taking a gamble on strategy. Maybe I wouldn't have thought they could get home from here, but maybe just coming in. Well, we did think it was going to be marginal as to whether they needed a second stop, so maybe this is covering off, making sure they don't need to do that, although I would have thought the fuel saved under safety car would cover that, but any fuel they get in the car now means less fuel they have to put in next time, so that might be the thinking that they're running here.
Yeah, it's early. Wow. 3 laps under safety car, the first 3. That's going to, well, by the time we get round the rest of this lap, it's the first 10 minutes gone. Start better, boys. Start better.
Absolutely, and a track like this, 2 minutes at race pace, so when you're doing a couple of laps behind the safety car, or well, yeah, a couple of laps behind the safety car plus the lap to get to the safety car after it was cooled, certainly eats up a lot of time at that reduced pace.
Yeah, 4 minutes 10, the last lap around for Stefan McCartan behind the, or 17 for him. I'm not sure why he was slower than the cars behind, but I guess they were catching up.
Yeah, that would make sense. But yeah, roughly near enough double the usual lap time, so
Yeah, an
definitely.
extra 2 minutes anyway, which is a lot.
Yeah, certainly puts it into perspective. And the good thing as far as strategy is concerned for all of them, that's basically for each lap they do, that's another lap less distance that they don't have to do on the race, as well as having saved that fuel for those couple of laps by not having to go as fast as they are under green flag conditions. But they're going to be back to it at the end of this one. Stefan keen to get on with it, almost running inside the safety car, which you can do on iRacing. The safety car in iRacing is not a solid object as long as we're running the iRacing safety car tonight. When we run the live safety car on Tuesday nights in Div 1, certainly very much a solid object there because it's actually another car being driven by someone on the server, and hopefully next time we've got that out on track everybody remembers that and doesn't try and do what Stefan was doing to the less solid iRacing safety car.
Yeah, that Mercedes safety car is definitely a little bit more solid than that Porsche. But it's got enough bright yellow safety car logos on it. I'd expect people to realise what it is. Larky, he's gone around on cold tyres and amongst the pack.
Has he done a Scotty Mac here, warming the tyres and just loops it. Not quite as bad as Scotty Mac in Indy, he didn't break the car, but certainly a little bit embarrassing. At least iRacing will let him get that position back, which is quite generous. I think if this was Tuesday night, he would be told, no, you spun. Anyone that passed you, they were allowed to pass you because you were spun. You have to stay where you join back. But iRacing's a little bit more generous. Lets you get back to those positions when you make a mistake like that. But anyway, we are getting ready to go again. The pace car is going to peel off and Stefan McCartan is going to have control, and I thought he might go off the apex of the final corner, holds him a bit longer this time and gets the jump. Jaco Venter sitting in behind looking to go with him, but he's got a little bit of pressure from his teammate Nico Cordia. Sean McNamara also making up ground on the initial start and looking to see if he can challenge Nico, but a little bit of a gap there at the moment. Aaron Goodrich putting pressure on Sean. Popped the nose out a little bit, but doesn't try and go side by side into La Rouge. He'll look to get the run through, and he has got a good run, pulls out, and they're going to be side by side down the straight, and Aaron's going to try and go around the outside when they get to Lacombe. Nico Cordia going to the inside. Wow, Nico Cordia getting the slingshot from his teammate and jumping ahead of Stefan McCartan. That was massive.
Big moves from Nico to get to the front. the bonus of having teammates in the race. Of course, Stefan, the solo one performance racing driver, he's normally out there all by himself at the front, but he's got this game of flair boys giving him a bit of grief tonight.
Yeah, sure does. Aaron was able to get the job done on Sean McNamara as well, so we'll look for a replay of that in a moment. We had to cut away from that battle as the move was going on for the lead. Blake Greenhill putting pressure on Peter Vanderberg as well.
A little bit of BMW action. They seem to have multiplied tonight, the BMWs. We've got 5 of them in-house tonight.
Yeah, good to see. Blake's been running that for a long, long time.
Yeah, that is definitely, we can class that one as a retro paint, I would say, for Balaki, that one.
Absolutely. He ran the Porsche while we were doing GTEs for a couple of seasons, but the trusty BMW was locked away in the garage, and when we announced they were coming back, he unlocked the garage, dusted it off, looked at the paint job, went, yeah, I still love that, and rolled it out on track.
Yes, it's he could have driven the BMW GTE, but chose to go that mid-engine Porsche, get a little crazy.
Absolutely. Just noticed Peter Vanderberg was looking to get some heat into those tyres weaving around down the pit straight, so lap after the restart already, and Peter's still looking to heat up those tyres. They do, by all accounts, take a few laps to get properly up to temperature now, and they are, with the new tyre model, very challenging. You can see Peter continuing to move around down the straight there. I've forgotten what that straight's called. I should know it. I was going to quote it, and then I was like, I can't actually remember what it's called.
What straight are we looking at? Is it Kimmel?
Kimmel Straight,
Kimmel.
That's the one. I was going to say Mulsanne Straight, and I was like, no, that's Le Mans.
Yep. Definitely Milan. Yeah, there's a few names around this track that yeah, I don't know how to say them, so I'm not even going to try. But turn 10, it starts with P. Pohon, well, that's what I see it as.
Pohon.
Yeah, Pohon 10.
Hugo Allen making his way up through the field after not qualifying. Certainly the pace we know he's got, we would expect to see him somewhere near the front, but that safety car early on would have held up his progression a little bit, and he's up 14 positions nonetheless, but I think some of that is due to people taking early pit stops. There was a lot of gravel on the track through there, but he's navigated his way through that and carries on, and his next target is going to be Andre Elliott.
Yeah, I think there might have been an incident with Kevin de Fronterum around that area. He did bring a lot of the gravel onto the track.
Yeah, and Kevin is running about 10 seconds back from Pete Rotmitz, who's the next guy ahead of him. Christian Jenkins' name dropping back. He's had a big one. A lot of rear wings coming off tonight, and there goes another one. Oh! And that was...
I'm blaming Scott for that. Scott, you are guilty for that. Was it Aaron? If it was Aaron, it's Scott's fault. He jinxed him. It's not Aaron now. Aaron is still in fourth.
It was Heath Mann. Wow. The yellow flags in iRacing aren't always that reliable, and he was running side by side and came across Christian Jenkins across the track, and in the reaction to try and avoid him, he just lost control and he makes his way into the pits to get a fast repair. But that was mammoth. So we'll pick up Christian. Well, this is the aftermath. We'll go back a little bit further to get the incident for Christian. Just grabbed a bit of that curb and it unsettled the car, sent him around, and then we can jump on board with Heath, and wow, that was massive. I
Yeah,
think
he
we
just come out of
actually,
that corner and he didn't really have much he could do there. He just, yeah, you're on the brakes because you don't want to hit that other car and all crossed up. Just go for a ride.
this one might actually give us a bit more chance to look at it. So he's got the run through there as well, and then gets alongside and yeah, just sees Kristen going slow, and he's like, where am I going to go here? And it just goes. Nothing you can do. Such an unfortunate set of circumstances for Heath on that one. He's back out, heading back out on track now. Nico Cordia continuing to hold a 2 second lead actually over Stefan McCartan. So Nico has stretched that lead out. I wonder if Stefan's just doing a little bit of fuel saving.
Yeah, he's still lapping, well, not too much slower than Nico, but I guess he's opened up that 2.3 second gap. He's just, Nico loves Spa, he was telling me, so it's a track they obviously did the Spa 24-hour on the weekend, and he was up for about 48 hours, he told me.
Wow, that's a big effort.
It's a bloody good effort.
So I mentioned earlier on that we would pick up a replay of Aaron Goodrich putting the move on Sean McNamara, and we do have that now. So we're on board, coming up through Eau Rouge, goes to the outside, and then we can jump off board. And he's actually had BJ make it 3 wide there as well. I think that was BJ getting a lap back on those guys as well after that lap run incident. So he gets ahead, but Sean ultimately losing out to Aaron. Aaron just having that momentum over him, and we can also
Actually think BJ's got round Nico as well, and he's not. No, he hasn't. Sorry.
I also just wanted to have a proper look at Nico getting Jaco and Stefan in one foul swoop, because we didn't quite catch that in its entirety. We sort of picked it up halfway through. So he pulls out, gets the slingshot from his teammate, that gets him alongside, and then in the braking zone just glides on past. Although it almost looks like Stefan was actually saving fuel at that point. I actually want to do something here with that. So this is on board with Stefan at that moment. I just want to have a listen here. Yeah, he certainly lifted early, so he was fuel saving. And with Nico having already got the slingshot from his teammate, that gave him the momentum that he needed. That when Stefan lifted off that gas, it allowed Nico to get past. So with the gap that Nico's been able to open up, and that's stretched out to nearly 3 seconds now, I think Stefan's saving quite heavy. I think he's trying to go to the end without stopping, which is going to be...
Yeah, Nico's he just set fastest lap of the race last time by. First car, oh sorry, 2 minute 16.711. So his pace flat out, he's going hard, and obviously, yeah, like you say, Stefan's just eased it off a little bit. But it's these cars behind him. There's the 4 of them there. So that's I think BJ's in amongst them as well.
So they're all limited to 30% on fuel. 100% fuel capacity gets you about an hour in a GT3 car around Spa. I've done enough Spa 24 hours and enough practices for Spa 24 hours to be familiar with that fact. So, well, what's 30% of an hour? It's only about 20 minutes, isn't it? So,
It's a third, isn't it?
yeah.
Roughly.
So, well, maybe the majority are still on 2 stops then, and Stefan's looking to do a 1-stopper.
Yeah, that would make sense. I'm guessing he's
Yeah,
going to have
Nico's
enough
in now.
fuel for 12 laps. Yeah, Stefan stays out, so you might be onto it there. Just trying to do it as a 1-stopper. If he's only got to save, 2 laps worth of fuel, that is reasonably easy to do in these cars too.
Yeah, and there's plenty of opportunity to save fuel around here by lifting off the throttle nice and early. I actually remember a stint when Doug joined my team for the Spa 24 hour here, and someone was in the barrier off to the right there. I'm not quite sure who it was.
Is that Leith?
I couldn't tell you because my data just keeps populating. And sorry about the stutters, people. Hopefully that's going to clear up momentarily.
Or is it stuttering on the stream?
Yeah, looks like it would be. It was stuttering fairly bad on my screen just a moment ago. So hopefully that's all going to clear up. And now I've completely lost my train of thought.
Stream's looking all good at the moment, Shano, so no stress there. Well, we're at 23 minutes in, so we are halfway, over halfway.
Yeah, we absolutely are over halfway, and that would tell us that Stefan is nailing this 1-stop strategy. Probably wants to go a little bit further than halfway because of the fact that there was fuel saved under the yellow flag period. So if you take it from almost effectively starting the race at the 10-minute mark when we did go green again, you need to do 35 minutes from that point. So halfway would be, as Stefan does come to the pits now, and because of that, I'm not even going to bother working out the maths. We'll just say we're somewhere around the halfway mark.
Yeah, roundabout. Hugo Allen with the fastest lap of the race last time by. He's now up 32 spots into P2. He's just run a 2:15.98 as he just runs into first place now. And on screen, got Noah Kitcher.
Yeah, that's right. As he runs a little bit wide to give the cameras a nice view of his special livery there. Says Hey Nan on the side because it is his Nan's 64th birthday. So happy birthday, Noah's Nan.
Oh, Noah's Nan's as old as my mum.
How cool.
Yeah, well, hope Nan has a happy birthday, and I hope she gets to get a good view of your McLaren, buddy.
Looking very good out on track too. He's sitting in P29, so not the race he would have been hoping for, down 15 spots. I think he was potentially caught up in some of that early drama, or did he just get in under the safety car to get that little splash of fuel in and hope for a shorter second stop, or potentially go to the end without stopping again? Probably not, I would say, but we'll wait and see on that one. Certainly, at the very least, though, he should make that second stop a little bit shorter.
Yeah, well, some of these cars that came down the lane and got a splash of fuel during that safety car are going to probably benefit a little bit at the end.
So Nico Cordia, running P2 at the moment, has managed to come out ahead of Stephen McCartan. Hugo Allen actually into the lead currently, but his pit stop was on lap 2, so I believe he's going to have to come in again. He took fuel under that safety car and will probably have to stop again relatively soon, I would expect.
I'm just gonna let you know, Scotty, they only get 17 incident points in here, so they want to run wide, they're going to get it off track. And they'll have to suffer the consequences. So we've already got one car has been black flagged. It looks like he's left the chat. You've got a couple of guys getting close, but for the most of it, all in single digits.
Yeah, so they're doing pretty good. Hugo Allen does come and take that pit stop now, so that moves Nico Cordier into P1. And there's only a lap difference between his stop and Stefan's stop. So my question is, are they both good to go to the end? Do they both have to stop again? Does Nico now have to save a little bit? Is Stefan good to go? We're just going to have to wait and see, aren't we?
I think you've asked too many questions. Never asked too many questions, but it'll all play out very soon.
Well, what have we got? Just over 15 minutes, so about coming down to 16 and a half minutes remaining at the moment. And well, Stefan's closed that gap up from what it was before the pit stop. It's coming down towards 2 seconds now, and it does seem to be steadily getting lower. So I do think Stefan's done with his fuel save, and he got to his target lap. He's happy that he's good to go to the end from here. And meanwhile, Nico, well, I'll tell you what, let's see if we can hear from the way he's driving the car whether he's saving fuel or not. Riding on board. Probably not the best place to get an idea of fuel saving, but might have had a little bit of a lift before he got on the brakes there. Into the next braking zone will certainly tell us, because it's a big high throttle or a big long 100% throttle zone from here to the final chicane now. He should be flat out through the left-hander at Blanchimont coming up here. Does keep it pinned there, and yeah, sounded like a bit of a lift before he did jump on the brakes. So sounds like Nico's doing the fuel save game now, trying to make sure he can get to the end, where Stefan, by doing the fuel save game in the first stint, has been able to go that lap longer and is all out attack now. So for just a lap's difference in when they pitted, it's a big strategy variance that is playing out before our very eyes at the moment.
Black Greenhill with a big off. We'll have to get back and have a look at that.
Oh yeah, he's left us. What is it with Spa and taking spoilers off cars tonight?
I think it's the rate they're reversing into walls and tyre bundles doing it.
Well, let's have a look, eh? What's Blake done here? Oh, unsettled off the curb at Blanchimont, and well, yeah, he did reverse into the wall pretty hard, and he got both ends as well, and yeah, that'll do it.
Look at those dancing body parts.
Yeah, well, they've got a mind of their own, don't they? They just keep on dancing. It's like they need to use the toilet or something.
Hugo Allen, the first car into the 215s. He's done a 2:15.998, so only just, but he's there. That is quick, up 26 spots into P8.
And you know what? This is the third strategy, isn't it? This is start off the back as well, but two stopper, pit under safety car. Absolutely all out attack. No need to save fuel, I would imagine, because he was able to go a couple of laps longer than everybody else with the extra stop, and he's going for it now. So I'm very interested to see where he can get to.
Yeah, so he's just come in and done his stop. So, yeah, he's good to go to the end probably, and he's going to be all out attack from here. So he's only 17, just over 17 seconds behind Nico at the moment, and he's P8. So it just shows this field is actually pretty close. The top, let's say, well, the top 23 cars all within a minute.
Yeah, that's pretty good going. Half an hour into a race around Spa, isn't it?
It definitely is, yeah. We're approaching 10 minutes to go. So it's all crunch time. If you're going to have to stop to get some to go to get home, do you leave it late or do you come in a little earlier?
Yeah, well, if I know I can't make it, to be honest, I would want to get that stop out of the way quite early, and then you can you can get your head down and you know where you're at. But obviously it
Where you at?
depends on where you at, where you at, G. Um, obviously it depends on where you are in the race as well, whether you've got fresh air around you. It's not always a good idea to pit out of fresh air and end up in traffic. But if you are in traffic, it's normally a good idea to come into the pits if it means you're going to get some fresh air in front of you and you can focus on putting some good quick lap times down.
No, they just want to see me rolling. Oh, Blake involved in another
Oh,
incident. Balaki, what is up, my friend? Well, it's probably been one of those weeks for you, and thoughts with you, with everybody from the Supercars NZ community too. Blake, if you watch this back, we're all thinking of you, bud.
yeah, absolutely agree with that. Certainly been a tough week for Blake, and great to see him out on track and doing his thing, and in the Discord having banter as well. This is his normality coming along on a Tuesday and Thursday night, so great to see him. And yeah, we always enjoy having banter with Blake, so good to see him continuing to come along for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's his safe place, and that's pretty cool that he can do that. I reckon, and and sim racing is good for your mental health. I reckon, especially if you get out there with your mates. That's something I've promoted through the years. I believe it's a good tool for your mental health, and we need to use it more. If there's a way I can do that, then I will. So yeah, watch this space.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Bit of a three-way going on here. Sean's always involved in the three-ways. He's got Roger Forbes and Hogan Shrimpton just behind him.
Short or plough anyone, is that what you say? Yeah, absolutely, take that. So cheeky shout out, Aaron Goodrick, done quite well tonight. He's managed to get himself up 4 spots into P3 currently. Came in lap 8, so he is going to have to stop before he gets home, isn't he? Huh? He might have enough if he's fuel saving. Yes, fuel saving.
Yeah, looks like he's on the same strategy as Nico Cordia. They both pitted on lap 8, so yeah, I think probably a little bit of fuel saving that he's going to need to do to get to the end. He has got Jaco Benta just behind as well, but Jaco also on that same strategy, so he will be saving as well. Worth noting, actually, Leith Swinney is the first of a little pack, or first of a couple of cars, or first of 3 cars all in a row that pitted on lap 7. So they're either going to be on quite heavy fuel save or just resigned to having to take a second stop. And if they have to take that second stop at this point, it's going to drop them back quite far. If we look at pit lane times, so far most guys have been around 40 seconds, but obviously they will be on a shorter stop, so it might be closer to 30-ish seconds. And well, if we look at the gaps from the leader, so currently these guys, Leaf is sitting 24 seconds behind the leader. If you add another 30 seconds of that, it's putting them down around 17th, 18th position there.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to lose all your work that you've done.
I hope for those guys that they can make it, because that's gonna really hurt them if they do have to take a second stop. So hopefully they're good to go. They're all, as Leith tells me that no, he's not. He's got to come in. So lap too early on the pit stop, unfortunately, and he's on the two-stopper. Steve's following him as well, along with Stefan Adams and Tom McCall. So yeah, looks like those guys that pitted on lap 7 are all committed to the two-stopper. Well, Stefan was closing the gap on Nico after the pit stop, but that's stretched out again to 4 seconds now. So I think Stefan's looked at his fuel numbers and realised that he does have to save a bit more. What's Nico thinking? If
Well,
Stefan
if
still had to save a bit more and pitted that lap later, where is Nico placed in that regard? Is he good to go to the end, or has he just thrown caution to the wind and put the foot down now and gone, you know what, I'm not going to make it without stopping again. I just need to open up as much of a gap as I can.
yeah, we've just seen everybody that had come in lap 7 come in and take a pit. They had all come in lap 7, so they didn't have enough. So lap 8, you know, if they come in lap 8, then they're probably going to need to save a little. So I reckon anybody that's on 9 or above is going to be good to go home. So Hugo Allen, he could be looking in for a bit of a masterclass here. If those people on 8 all have to come in, that is going to put him up onto a podium. That's going to upset the order a lot.
Yeah, that's a fair call there, because he's, like you say, coming on lap 10. He took the opportunity to get some fuel under safety car, and that enabled him to stretch it out to lap 10 on that. So we think he's good to go to the end, and there might be a fair few cars ahead of him now that maybe aren't good to go to the end.
Yeah, as we see Aaron Goodrick come in, Jacko Venter come in, Sean McNamara, and everybody that's 8 laps has all come in, apart from Nico. Nico is the only one so far. Lou Robertson and Jonathan Turner yet to come past the lane, but they came in lap 8, and they're also coming in. So, wow, this is all playing out.
Yeah, so Hugo moves into P3, up 31 spots. Nico, well, we saw him doing some fuel saving, but if all those other guys that pitted on the same lap as he did, lap 8, needed fuel now, even with that bit of fuel saving he was doing, I wouldn't have thought he was going to be able to stretch it out much past this lap, and we're still just coming down to 5 minutes remaining now, so we're still going to have probably a couple of laps to go at the end of this one. Stefan looks like he's gone heavy fuel saving now, because that gap has stretched out to 6 seconds. So I think Stefan is really fighting to get there. And he put it on lap 9, so I think he's still marginal. We'll keep an eye on him.
Yeah. Wow, how good has this race been? It's had everything in it.
It's absolutely fantastic. That safety car has just completely mixed up the strategy, and we've had Stefan on the fuel save game. Nico initially wasn't, tried to go onto it, tried to convert to the one stopper, but couldn't make it work. So, well, hang on. I've said that. We don't think he's been able to make it work, so we're going to keep an eye on him, and I'm expecting to see him in this lap, but we'll wait and see. He's certainly not saving as heavy as Stefan, who pitted after he did.
Yeah, well, last lap,
Oh,
why? Oh, who's that?
that was Blake again. He is not having a good night. And Nico does come into the pits.
I was going to say his last lap, 2:18, so he was definitely saving. 2:19 for Stefan McCartan, so he's definitely saving as well. And yeah, even Hugo Allen, must be saving a little bit. He came in lap 10, so that's the next one to look at. And if these guys do have to come in, then it's looking at Aaron Goodrick at the moment. He is the first of the cars that have come in. He come in lap 15, so we've got Nico in the pits now. Is he going to lose a spot to Aaron? He has, no. It's going to be close.
this is incredible. I am so enthralled right now. We are probably a lap and about 2/3 or 3/4 from the end, and we've got a 9-second gap out front for Stefan McCartan, but I genuinely can't tell you who's going to win this race.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be a fly on the wall in the pit garage at One Performance to find out, has he got enough?
We jump on board again. He's certainly letting it rev out.
His last lap at 2:19.180, so he's about halfway through this lap, so we'll be able to update that and see if he's still, pacing it. That looks like, I think that's BJ in front of him, isn't it? So he's the first car that's not been lapped.
Potentially he's positioned himself behind BJ to take advantage of the draft there, and he did have quite a big lift down the hill into Puon, so he is saving, he's letting it rev out, but I do know that the lift and coast certainly has a much bigger effect in iRacing than short shifting does. Short shifting does have that effect, but lift and coast is much more effective, so I think that's the strategy that Stefan is playing here. I think we're going to get the white flag next time by, so if he doesn't come to the pits this time, he is trying to go to the end, and with the amount that he's saving, I think he is not going to pit, and he does turn left and carry on. So there's the white flag. Stefan believes he can go to the end. Hugo Allen we know can go to the end, and he is pulling the gap in significantly. He's just done a 16.43. That was over 2 seconds faster than Stefan McCartan, but it's 7 seconds the gap, and this is the last lap. So unless, as Stefan's actually gone around BJ as well, so that tells me that Stefan's just put the hammer down. He's got the number that he wants, and he doesn't need to save anymore.
Yeah, just get out of Dodge for Stefan, but BJ's just going to sit in behind now. Maybe he's thinking the same thing, saving. No, he came in lap 15, so he's good to get home. Hugo Allen there, he's going to make it home for sure. If Stefan can, then Hugo definitely will. An extra lap of fuel.
Absolutely.
2 seconds faster last lap. He's 5.9 seconds behind Hugo, so I don't think he's going to make that up in this lap, but he is sure gunning it right now.
Yeah, it's still come down by a second already on this lap. Two lap cars in between them as well to make Hugo's life that little bit harder, but it's all going to come down to whether Stefan has to put in that extra save, or potentially he could even still cough before he gets to the line and not actually make it.
Bit of a battle going on for the last spot of the podium too. Aaron Goodrick has got around Nico Cordier, and it is very, very close at the moment. That is a good point, Scotty. BJ just not wanting to do an extra lap at the end, so he's let Stefan go past. That is be a call too. Rough night for BJ, so he'll just be wanting to get it home in one piece.
So Stefan gets it through Blanchimont. He just needs to have enough to get him out of the bus stop, and then he can clutch in and coast across the line. It's not far to get to the line, and it looks like he's going to be all good. Stefan McCartan gets there. Fuel safe strategy, one stopper, the only guy to only pit once in this race, and it's enough for him to take out the win here tonight in the MRP GT3 Series round 4 at Spa. Hugo Allen finishes P2. Aaron Goodrick is going to hold off Nico Cordier to claim the final spot on the podium. Nico in P4. Jaco Venter P5, Roger Forbert P6, Hogan Shrimpton 7th, Sean McNamara 8th, Peter Vanderberg 9th, Louis Robertson rounds out the top 10, or is about to round out the top 10, comes across the line to finish 10th. Leith Swinney 11th, Dan Turner 12th, up 12 spots, good effort. Jonathan Turner coming through the final chicane now in P13 and picks up that spot. Steve Darren P14, Rob Carwood 15th, Stephen Adams 16th, Tom McCall 17th, Adam Hughes 18th. Good recovery after being caught up in the opening lap dramas there. Kristen Jenkins, big slide off the final corner, not sure whether that was a mistake or a celebration. Comes home in P19 nonetheless. Andre Elliott P20. Chris Zaluski missing the rear wing on the final lap. Racecraft's NZ bringing it home. Taking it nice and easy through that chicane with a lot of rear downforce missing, and he claims P21. Shout out to Alan Scott, finishing on the lead lap tonight, as long as he makes the finish line. And he's in a battle with Noah Kitcher at the moment. Oh, that was Wayne Hartnell, I think, in behind having a big moment. Oh, battle across the line between Noah Kitcher and Alan Scott. Noah just grabbed him and Alan getting loose and getting into the side, but they both survived, so all good. Dan Nolan finishing P24, Wayne Hartnell P25, Pete Rotmans across in P26. BJ was our first runner a lap down, 27th, Kevin DeFunterum 28th, Blake Greenhill 29th, Cullen Boleski 30th, Richard Foucher 31st, Diego Marabella's 32nd, James McKenzie 33rd, Heath Mahone 34th, potentially not making it to the finish by the look of it. I think that might have been the case with James and Diego as well, actually, and also Tinnis Venter and Phil Carpenter looked like they retired as well.
Tell you what, because I can, I'm going to bring Ginger and I'm going to put him in the waiting room first so he realises what's going on and gets all this swearing out of the way. But I don't think he'll be swearing. He'll be quite stoked because he's got himself on the podium. So we're going to bring in Aaron Goodrick, P3, my friend. You must be happy with that effort.
Yeah, not a bad effort for there. Obviously, the 24-hour paid off doing some practice. Got it set that was a bit more dialed in, took some wing out of it, and just drove it. So, no, it was good.
Yeah, and how did the Spa 24-hour go for you?
Should we not talk about that? No, actually, it wasn't too flash. I had an incident on cold tyres about 14 hours into the race. The boys had got taken out earlier in the race as well, unfortunately, by another car. So we ended up in a P18, I think it was. But no, it was just a day to enjoy a bit of freaking banter and doing the 24 pretty much. So yeah, no, it was all good in the end.
Yeah, a lot of fun with the crew, isn't it? And that's what it's all about, having a bit of fun and for 24 hours. And sometimes you get a result, sometimes you don't. But it's all about not giving up, and that's what you guys did, and you got to be proud of that.
Yeah, no, 100%, and it's similar with here, obviously with Supercars New Zealand. It's all a bit about the banter in the Discord and having a chat with the boys and going racing.
Well, Thursday's always your night to get your hair out after doing race control on a Tuesday night. You get to spread your wings on a Thursday, and you're definitely making the most of it. So, anyone you want to shout out, mate?
No, nothing too much. Just obviously Rosetown as the main sponsor, but I was actually just looking here in Discord as we speak, and there's already incidents rolling in. So that will be a job for a little bit later tonight. Look at some incidents from that race, and we'll see how we go. But no, cheers for running the stream, boys, and another good night.
Absolutely awesome. Well done, mate. And we'll let you get back and see what's going on down in the Discord. Well done.
Awesome. Thanks, boys.
Just the one tonight, Shane.
Yeah, it looks like we're not going to get to talk to Stefan or Hugo, so we can probably start to wrap it up. So, big thanks, Corey, for joining me in the lounge tonight, as usual on a Thursday night.
Absolutely. It's secretly my favourite GT3, so I'm always happy to be here.
I don't think it's very secret, but...
It's a bit like Doug's foliage. That's how much I like it.
Absolutely. big thanks, of course, to MRP for sponsoring the MRP GT3 Series, and we're already halfway through that because remember we're only running 8 rounds of GT3 this season, and then we're switching up to a quick little 4-round GTE series to finish it off.
Oh, yeah. Well, just before we go too much further, we got Road America for the V8s next week, so you can tune in, myself and Wayno. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed to the Broadcasting Lounge, we'd really, really appreciate that. I forgot to push that during the stream, so I'm just getting it out of the way now. And GT3 next week, Virginia International Raceway, or VIR. That should be a bit of fun. And you can get some more racing in tomorrow night too. Piston Cup heading to Gillies Villeneuve. So the old FG Falcon and the VF Commodore, you get in them and have some fun too. Steve's got that all lined up for the rest of the season too. So I've got them all written down. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, very cool, but different from the old tradition of whatever Nick loads on the day is where you're racing.
Absolutely, and he's picked some cool tracks too. But Gillies Villeneuve tomorrow night, so that's from 8 p.m. Piston Cup. Thanks to Simplex for that.
Very cool, and I'm looking forward to steering a V8 around Road America on Tuesday, and looking forward to seeing the GT3s at VIR on Thursday as well. That's always a cool track for GT3 cars. Heading up through those S's with a bit of downforce is always cool to do and cool to watch as well, so looking forward to that. Big thanks Volk Auto Electrical for sponsoring this week's racing. Couldn't do it without all our weekly sponsors, and cheers to Tim for coming on board for this week. Very much appreciate that, and also appreciate all our drivers for coming out and giving us a show to put out there. So thanks to everybody for turning up, all 36 guys that did turn up tonight. That's awesome to see big fields again for GT3s and consistent every week at the moment as well, which is absolutely great. And big thanks to iRacing as well for giving all those drivers the platform to go racing on, because it wouldn't be possible without all the work that iRacing put in behind the scenes, coding everything to put the pixels together into a shape that resembles these tracks that we know and love and these cars that we love racing, and put it out there on your screens. And thanks for tuning in and looking at your screens tonight and listening to Corey and I ramble on for probably about an hour or so it's been now. Cheers, everybody. We will see you all next time.